Lines are read with upper content having precedence over content below. 35. The lines or columns, and the individual inscriptions within them, read from left to right in rare instances only and for particular reasons at that. Ordinarily, however, they read from right to left. The Egyptians preferred direction of writing, although, for convenience, modern texts are often normalized in left to right order. 35. The direction toward which asymmetrical hieroglyphs face indicate their proper reading order. For example, when human and animal hieroglyphs face or look toward the left, they almost always must be read from left to right, and vice versa. As in many ancient writing systems, words are not separated by blanks or punctuation marks. However, certain hieroglyphs appear particularly common only at the end of words, making it possible to readily distinguish words. Unilateral signs. The Egyptian hieroglyphic script contained 24 unilaterals, symbols that stood for single consonants, much like letters in English. It would have been possible to write all Egyptian words in the manner of these signs, but the Egyptians never did so and never simplified their complex writing into a true alphabet. 36. Each unilateral glyph once had a unique reading, but several of these fell together as Old Egyptian developed into Middle Egyptian. For example, the folded cloth glyph seems to have been originally in /s/ and the door bold glyph, a /theta/ sound, but these both came to be pronounced /s/ as the /theta/ sound was used. A few unilaterals first appear in Middle Egyptian texts. Hieroglyphs at Amada, a temple founded by Thutmose III. Besides the unilateral glyphs, there are also the biliteral and triliteral signs, to represent a specific sequence of 2 or 3 consonants and vowels, and a few as vowel combinations only, in the language. Phonetic complements. Egyptian writing is often redundant. In fact, it happens very frequently that a word is followed by several characters writing the same sounds, in order to guide the reader. For example, the word nfa, beautiful, good, perfect, was written with a unique triliteral tit was read as nfr:/nfr. However, it is considerably more common to add to that triliteral the unilaterals for f and r. The word can thus be written as nfr plus f and r, but one still reads it as merely nfr. The 2 alphabetic characters adding clarity to the spelling of the preceding triliteral hieroglyph. Redundant characters accompanying biliteral or triliteral signs are called phonetic complements, or complementaries. They can be placed in front of the sign, rarely after the sign, as a general rule, or even framing it, appearing both before and after. Ancient Egyptian scribes consistently avoided leaving large areas of blank space in their writing and might add additional phonetic complements or sometimes even invert the order of signs if this would result in a more aesthetically pleasing appearance. Good scribes attended to the artistic, and even religious, aspects of the hieroglyphs, and would not simply view them as a communication tool. Various examples of the use of phonetic complements can be seen below. S43. D. W. MD and D and W. The complementary D is placed after the sign. It reads MDW meaning tongue. X. P. XPR. R. I. A 40. And P plus PR plus R and J. The 4 complementaries frame the triliteral sign of Thescarab beetle. It reads PR.J, meaning the name Khepri, with the final glyph being the determinative for ruler or god. Notably, phonetic complements were also used to allow the reader to differentiate between signs that are homophones, or which do not always have a unique reading. For example, the symbol of the seat, or Q1. This can be read ST, WS or TM, according to the word in which it is found. The presence of phonetic complements and of the suitable determinative allows reader to know which of the three readings to choose. First reading, STQ1. T. PR. ST, written ST and T. The last character is the determinative of the house or that which is found there, meaning seat, throne, place. Q1. T. H8. ST, written ST and T. The egg determinative is used for female personal names in some periods, meaning Isis. 2ND reading, WSQ1. Aya. A 40. WSJR, written WS and Junior, with, as a phonetic complement, the I, which is read Junior, following the determinative of God, meaning Osiris. Third reading, TMH. Q1. M and T. E17. TM.T, written plus TM and M and T, with the determinative of Anubis or the jackal, meaning a kind of wild animal. H. Q1. T. G41. TM, written plus TM and T, with the determinative of the flying bird, meaning to disappear. Finally, it sometimes happens that the pronunciation of words might be changed because of their connection to ancient Egyptian. In this case, it is not rare for writing to adopt a compromise in notation, the Tauriodings being indicated jointly. For example, the adjective BNJ, sweet, became BNR. In Middle Egyptian one can write B. N. R. I. M30. BNRJ, written B and N and R and I, with determinative, which is fully read as BNR, the J not being pronounced but retained in order to keep a written connection with the ancient word, in the same fashion as the English language words through, knife, or victuals, YK no longer pronounced the way they are written. Semantic reading. Besides a phonetic interpretation, characters can also be read for their meaning. In this instance, logograms are being spoken, or ideograms, and semigrams. The latter are also called determinatives. 37. Logograms. Comparative evolution from pictograms to abstract shapes. In cuneiform, Egyptian and Chinese characters, a hieroglyph used as a logogram defines the object of which it is an image. Logograms are therefore the most frequently used common nouns. They are always accompanied by a mute vertical stroke indicating their status as a logogram. The usage of a vertical stroke is further explained below. In theory, all hieroglyphs would have the ability to be used as logograms. Logograms can be accompanied by phonetic complements. Here are some examples. Ra. Z1. A, meaning sun. PR. Z1. PR, meaning house. SW. T. Z1. SWT, SW and T, meaning read. DW. Z1. W, meaning mountain. In some cases, the semantic connection is indirect, metonymic or metaphoric. NTR. Z1. NR, meaning God. The character in fact represents a temple flag, standard. G53. Z1. B, meaning BA, soul. The character is the traditional representation of ABA, a bird with a human head. G27. Z1. DR, meaning flamingo. The corresponding phonogram means red and the bird is associated by metonymy with this color. Determinatives. Determinatives or semigrams, semantic symbols specifying meaning, are placed at the end of a word. These mute characters serve to clarify what the word is about, as homophonic GLYPHS are common. If a similar procedure existed in English, words with the same spelling would be followed by an indicator that would not be read, but which would fine-tune the meaning. Retort, chemistry, and retort, rhetoric, would thus be distinguished. A number of determinatives exist. Divinities, humans, parts of the human body, animals, plants, etc. Certain determinatives possess a literal and a figurative meaning. For example, a roll of papyrus Y1 is used to define books but also abstract ideas. The determinative of the plural is a shortcut to signal three occurrences of the word, that is to say, its plural, since the Egyptian language had a dual, sometime as indicated by two strokes. This special character is explained below. Extract from the Tale of the Two Brothers. 38. Here are several examples of the use of determinatives borrowed from the book J. Lee's Les Hieroglyphs. I am reading Hieroglyphs by Jean K. Part, which illustrate their importance. NFR W A 17 Z3 NFR W and the three strokes are the marks of the plural, literally, the beautiful young people, that is to say, the young military recruits. The word has a young person determinative symbol a 17, which is the determinative indicating babies and children, NFR F R T B1 NFR.T. T is here the suffix that forms the feminine meaning nubile young woman, with B1 as the determinative indicating a woman, NFR 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 PR NFRW, the tripling of the character serving to express the plural, flexional ending W, meaning foundations, of a house, with the house as a determinative PR NFR F R S28 NFR, meaning clothing with S28 as the determinative for lengths of cloth. NFR W22 Z2SS NFR, meaning wine or beer, with a jug W22 as the determinative. All these words have a meliorative connotation: good, beautiful, perfect. The Concise Dictionary of Middle Egyptian by Raymond A. Faulkner gives some 20 words that are read NFR or which are formed from this word. Additional signs: Kartash. Inscribed hieroglyphics cover an obelisk in foreground. A stone statue is in background. Egyptian hieroglyphs with Kartaches for the name Ramesses II, from the Luxor Temple, New Kingdom. Rarely, the names of gods are placed within a Kartash. The two last names of the sitting king are always placed within a Kartash and LT. N5 Z1 I Y5 N A40 and GT JMLR, Amon-Ra, and LT Q E23 I V4 P D R A T H8 and GT QLJWPDR.T. Cleopatra, filling stroke. A filling stroke is a character indicating the end of a quadrat that would otherwise be incomplete. Signs joined. Some signs are the contraction of several others. These signs have, however, a function and existence of their own. For example, a forearm where the hand holds a scepter is used as a determinative for words meaning to direct, to drive, and their derivatives. Doubling. The doubling of a sign indicates its dual. The tripling of a sign indicates its plural. Grammatical signs. The vertical stroke indicates that the sign is a logogram. Two strokes indicate the dual number, and the three strokes the plural. The direct notation of flexional endings, for example W. Spelling. Standard orthography. Correct spelling in Egyptian is much looser than in modern languages. In fact, one or several variants exist for almost every word. One finds redundancies. Omission of graphemes, which are ignored whether or not they are intentional. Substitutions of one grapheme for another, such that it is impossible to distinguish a mistake from an alternate spelling. Errors of omission in the drawing of signs. which are much more problematic when the writing is cursive, hieratic writing, but especially demotic, where the schematization of the signs is extreme. However, many of these apparent spelling errors constitute an issue of chronology. Spelling and standards varied over time, so the writing of a word during the Old Kingdom might be considerably different during the New Kingdom. Furthermore, the Egyptians were perfectly content to include older orthography, historical spelling, alongside newer practices, as though it were acceptable in English to use archaic spellings in modern texts. Most often, ancient spelling errors are simply misinterpretations of context. Today, hieroglyphicists use numerous cataloging systems, notably the Manuel de Codage and Gardner's sign list, to clarify the presence of determinatives, ideograms, and other ambiguous signs in transliteration. Simple examples: P, T, W, A, L, M, I, S. Nomen or birth name. Ptolemaic hieroglyphs era, Ptolemaic dynasty, 305–30 BC. The glyphs in this cartouche are transliterated as ptualmy, 2. Estolmistau 2 is considered a single letter and transliterated y. Another way in which hieroglyphs work is illustrated by the two Egyptian words pronounced pr, usually vocalized as po. One word is house, and its hieroglyphic representation is straightforward pr. Z1. Here, the house hieroglyph works as a logogram. It represents the word with a single sign. The vertical stroke below the hieroglyph is a common way of indicating that a glyph is working as a logogram. Another word pr is the verb to go out, leave. When this word is written, the house hieroglyph is used as a phonetic symbol pr. D54. Name of Alexander the Great in hieroglyphs, c. 332 BC, Egypt. Louvre Museum. Here, the house glyph stands for the consonants pr. The mouth glyph below it is a phonetic complement. It is read as a, reinforcing the phonetic reading of pr. The third hieroglyph is a determinative. It is an ideogram for verbs of motion that gives the reader an idea of the meaning of the word. Encoding and font support. Egyptian hieroglyphs were added to the Unicode standard in October 2009 with the release of version 5.2, which introduced the Egyptian hieroglyphs block, U+13000 U+1342F. As of July 2013, 4 fonts, Egyptus, New Gardner, Noto Song Egyptian hieroglyphs and Xish font support this range. Another font, Sego UI Historic, comes bundled with Windows 10 and also contains glyphs for the Egyptian hieroglyphs block. Sego UI Historic excludes 3 glyphs depicting phallus. Gardner's D52, D52A, D53, Unicode code points U+130B8 U+130B8. 39. See also. Ancient Egypt portal list of Egyptian hieroglyphs. Gardner's sign list. Egyptian numerals. Egyptian language. Middle Bronze Age alphabets. Manuel de Codage. Champollion Museum. Notes and references.